So Democrats are lying about Florida's parental rights bill? Of course. What's going on, America? I'm the right-winged angel Oliver Mack, and in this video, we got to talk about Florida's parental rights and education bill that Democrats have called the Don't Say Gay bill. That's right. All Democrats, all these mainstream media outlets are calling it the Don't Say Gay bill. And a lot of people who are uneducated or just dumb are not even looking into it to see what it really says or what the bill is really named, because they believe that Florida passed a bill that is called the Don't Say Gay bill. It is not. The bill is called the Parental Rights and Education bill. This bill was designed to give parents back their rights. It was designed to ensure that parents made the decisions for what their children were being taught. But, of course, Democrats, they don't see it like that. Of course, they're going to use this to gaslight people and having people thinking that Republicans just don't want rights for the LGBTQ community, which is not true. There are a lot of Republicans that are allies of the LGBTQ community. They have passed different legislation that helps the LGBT community, BTQ, whatever. I don't give a crap. But even Trump has been an ally of the LGBTQ community. I mean, he was the first president that came into office supporting gay marriage, but they don't tell you that, right? The mainstream media doesn't tell you that. The mainstream media wants you to believe that Trump and all the Republicans just hate gay people. They don't. Now, some don't agree with the lifestyle, of course, but they don't hate gay people. You have a right to not agree with someone's lifestyle, and you also have a right to make sure that your kids are not being taught this stuff before they are able to understand it, before they are able to grasp these concepts. Like in kindergarten, you don't teach this stuff in kindergarten. You don't teach this stuff in first grade or second grade. And that's what this bill is talking about, making sure that kids are not exposed to sexual education, because that's what it is. When you talk about LGBTQ with kindergartners, you're talking about sexual education with kindergartners, okay? And that's not right. Everybody should be against that. But of course, Democrats, they just oppose everything that Republicans are for because they're crazy, deranged, idiotic people. But I want you guys to see what the mainstream media is saying about this bill and what some of the Democrats are saying about this bill. So let's check this out.
Florida, a controversial bill in Florida, which opponents call the Don't Say Gay bill because it forbids instruction on sexual identity and sexual orientation for younger students, sits on the governor's desk awaiting his signature to become law.
22 yeas, 17 nays, Mr. President.
So the bill passes.
The bill was passed by a Republican-dominated state Senate, but not before sparking heated debate this morning.
This bill says, parents, your right to raise your children does not end when they walk into a classroom.
And to those who think you can legislate gay people away, I'm sorry. You cannot.
The bill, entitled Parental Rights in Education, was introduced by Republican State Representative Joe Harding. It says in part, classroom instruction by school personnel or third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity may not occur in kindergarten through grade 3. Parents would be able to sue the district if a school violates the law. Opponents worry that it could have a chilling effect on discussion of those topics in any grade. Republican Governor Ron DeSantis left no questions as to whether he will be signing the bill into law.
I think it's inappropriate to be injecting those matters like a transgenderism into a kindergarten classroom.
But critics are not letting this go quietly. They have staged school walkouts and protests, saying the bill would erase decades of progress.
How?
Denise Soufrine is gay and has been a teacher for 34 years. In her kindergarten class, she has these books, no matter what the law.
These books will remain in my classroom as long as I am a teacher in this district.
Even with a law
Somebody please arrest her.
Even with a law like this.
Could it cost you your job?
I don't think so.
It should.
And if it does?
it would be worth it.
If
Why don't you
Florida's
just quit?
governor signs this bill into law as is expected, it will take effect in July. And while there has been extensive protests and attention to the so-called Don't Say Gay law in Florida, 8 other states are considering similar legislation.
And they should, okay? And they should. There is no reason to discuss this stuff with kindergartners, first graders, and second graders. I'm even upset they stopped at third graders. I don't think they should be discussing this stuff until they get to at least middle school, because it's not appropriate. Even fifth graders and sixth graders don't understand these concepts. This is about sex, okay? This gender orientation, this sexual orientation, it's about sex. Two people can be friends and they can have a child that they're raising together as friends if they're the same sex, but they're not really gay, or it doesn't get complicated until these two people engage in sexual relations, engage in a sexual relationship. So when you're discussing these matters with little kids, you're discussing sex with little kids, gender orientation, all that stuff. That's sexual. You're discussing this stuff with little kids, and that should not be happening in any school. I, as a parent, have a right to know what my kid is being taught. If I don't want my kid to be taught certain things that are not about math and history and social studies and science, then I should be able to object to those things. I don't want my son learning about these things. These people want kids learning about being gay and being transgender and different things like that. They want kids to learn about that because they're trying to indoctrinate your children. This is what the protest to this bill is about. But I wanted you guys to actually see the bill so you can see it for yourself. I believe this is a summary of the bill. So we're going to read it. This is from the Florida House of Representatives. Parental Rights in Education requires district school boards to adopt procedures to comport with certain provisions of law for notifying students' parents of specified information. Requires such procedures to reinforce fundamental rights of parents to make decisions regarding upbringing and control of their children. Prohibits school district from adopting procedures or student support forms that prohibit school district personnel from notifying parent about specified information, or that encourage student to withhold from parent such information. We've had instances where the teachers and certain personnel at the school have convinced children that they were transgender. I believe there was an instance that happened in Florida where a child was told that they were transgender and they went home and committed suicide. So parents should know everything that's going on with their children in school. I want to know everything that's going on with my child in school, and I ask him every day, because there is nothing that he's being taught in school that I should not know about. There's nothing that happens with him in school that I should not know about. I want to hear about every fight. I want to hear about every conflict. Anything that happened in school, I should know about. But we have a lot of teachers out there that have made it their job to indoctrinate your children. They want to fill your children with their ideologies. A lot of their ideologies are very strange, or are very dangerous to young minds. So I should know when these things are going on. And if you do have teachers like the one we just saw who said that she wants to have these books in her classroom and she will have them no matter what, these teachers should be fired and prevented from teaching ever again. Kindergartners do not need to know about same-sex couples and same-sex marriages and different things like that. They do not grasp the idea. All you're going to do, and this is all you want to do, is create more gay, trans, lesbian, bisexual people so you can grow your community. Well, guess what? It's not going to happen with my kid ever. Let's read on. Prohibits school district personnel from discouraging or prohibiting parental notification and involvement in critical discussions affecting students' mental, emotional, or physical well-being. Prohibits classroom discussion about sexual orientation or gender identity in certain grade levels. And we already saw those grade levels are kindergarten through third grade. I wish it was higher than that. Requires school districts to notify parents of healthcare services, authorizes parents to bring action against school districts to obtain declaratory judgment, provides for additional award of injunction relief, damages, and reasonable attorney's fees and court costs to certain parents. So it provides an avenue for parents to sue the school when there's wrongdoing on behalf of their children. Teachers do not notify parents about what's going on with their children. We've seen too many cases where teachers are trying to indoctrinate kids and they tell the kids, don't tell your parents. We had one, I forgot what state it was in, but the students had to take a privilege test, and they told the students not to tell their parents about it, not to discuss any of the questions with their parents. Unbelievable. We cannot have this in any public school, okay? I'm a parent. I have a right to know what's going on with my kid at all times. And if you don't tell me what's going on with my kid, I have a right to sue you. If something happens to my kid as a result of what you're telling him, as a result of what you're feeding him, then I have a right to take action against the school. Everybody in the school, everybody who was involved, the school district, the teacher, the principal, everybody. That's my right as a parent. And I will never, ever, 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 ever give up that right because I control how my child is raised. Not you, you stupid woke teachers. I hate it. But this video is just to let everyone out there know that's not a Republican, that's not on the right, not paying attention to these things, that there is no such bill as the Don't Say Gay bill. It does not exist. Democrats made it up. This is a parental rights and education bill. You heard me read the summary of the bill. That's what it contains. That's what it's about. It's just about letting parents know what's going on with their children, and also not letting sexual discussions be held in classrooms of kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and third grade. That's it. I think it's a good bill. I wish it could have went further. Well, I'm Oliver Mack, the right-winged angel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Peace.